Hi, I'm Javier Torre, owner director of La Torre Law. Today we're going to be reacting to a video of a young lady getting arrested for DUI. It's a good video. You'll get to see what a DUI investigation on the field is. And this is not an Arizona investigation, but I mean, they're doing basically the same thing they do here in Arizona. So one thing you'll notice, the lady that gets arrested, she was not driving that vehicle. That also happens in the state of Arizona, okay? That's called actual physical control. And I'll talk to you through it as I go through the video, okay?
Hello, I'm Officer Proffer. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Hi.
Alright, so what's going on tonight? Were you fell asleep in here or what?
Yeah, honestly, just fell asleep.
Okay, have you been drinking?
Honestly?
Honestly? Yeah. Okay, where'd you come from?
All right, so she's a very nice young lady. She's being honest, she's being respectful, but that's a trap. She doesn't have to answer that question. And she's just admitted that she's been drinking, so now the cop has a reason to continue an investigation for DUI because this lady is behind the wheel of a vehicle. She's not driving, mind you, but she's behind the wheel of a vehicle. It seems like the vehicle was on, right? If you see in the beginning, the back lights are on, right? So at the very least, the ignition switch is turned on. I don't know if the vehicle is on. We'll find out maybe later. But you don't have to answer that question. Okay. And now she's going to ask her more stuff so she doesn't have to answer, okay?
Just came from a house party and we figured it was safer to sit here. We were dropped off. I didn't feel comfortable driving, so we were sitting in my car.
Okay.
And I didn't want to drive.
Okay.
That is a responsible human being saying, you know what? I'm not good to drive. I'm going to protect society and I will respect everybody and I'll just sit in my car and sober up. You are entitled to do that. However, officers rarely care about this, at least in my experience. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're drunk in a vehicle, you're probably going to get arrested. Even if you're being a responsible adult and decide not to drive and just, sleep it off. In Arizona, you are entitled to use a vehicle as a means of shelter. And also, everybody wants to you, if you're not feeling like you should be driving, we all want you to just not drive. And if you're in a place that it's not a home or whatever, it's completely fair for you to just sleep in your vehicle and protect yourself from the elements. Here in Arizona, we got like kind of bad weather in certain times of the year, so you want to, protect yourself from that weather, right? Unfortunately, there's such a thing as actual physical control of a vehicle DUI. Okay, so let's continue watching.
Okay. Do you guys both live here? Or?
I don't live here.
Okay. So how'd you get here?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
So how'd you get here?
We were dropped off by an Uber.
Okay. And you just got in your car?
Yes, ma'am.
So your car was sitting here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you guys been smoking weed at all, too?
No, ma'am. Don't
Okay.
do drugs.
All right. Do you have weapons or anything in here?
No, ma'am.
Knives or anything? Okay.
It's just White Claw.
Huh?
It's White Claw.
Okay. You have an open container you just put it in?
No, I don't have one to open a container.
We just have 2 energy drinks open here. But they're
All right, so White Claw or whatever. So an open container in the vehicle, that's another charge, right? So apparently they're talking about drinks they have in there, but apparently the open ones, they weren't alcoholic, so that's good.
but
Two
they're
energy
already
drinks.
drinking.
This is a White Claw.
That is a monster.
A Monster. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And then this is White.
All right.
I see that's White Claw. I saw you put something underneath that plate. Do me a favor, lift the plate up for me and put it on the...
He's not searching the vehicle, but he's asking them to search it for him. You don't have to do that. You do not. You just respectfully decline. Officer, I respectfully decline to answer questions. I don't want to answer your questions. May I just please go back to sleep? That's kind of thing. Okay? So here, the officers are asking them to search the vehicle for them, looking for, because, oh, I saw you put something or other. They always say that, oh, I saw you doing some further moves, so clearly you're hiding something completely illegal, right? Or you're just moving in the vehicle, right? Like any human being does, right? But no, officers just assume something's going on.
Ma'am, that's not the quilt. The quilt right there, put it on the seat. Yes, thank you.
It's just a blanket. Or it's a towel.
That's a towel. You mind if if I have that?
Of course, yeah. Check it out. It's not
Alright.
Be careful. It's a little cinnamon.
No
We
problem.
were at the beach.
We don't have any open containers in the car.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
We just have a Celsius and a Monster. They're just
Yeah, I
energy
had
drinks.
that earlier. I worked.
We don't have anything open in the car.
No.
It's not illegal to
I
have
didn't wanna
a
drive
closed,
intoxicated,
completely
so we're
sealed
just sitting in the car.
Okay, you're so
alcohol
you're both
beverage in the
students.
vehicle. You're transporting it, not
Did
drinking.
did he get your IDs and stuff already?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Makes you get the dirt out.
Yeah. Hang on 1 second for me.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah. We'll be on 300, 75, 5,
So they're probably running their IDs for warrants and whatever. They're probably around the plates to make sure. They're always looking for an excuse to bother these young ladies even more when all they're doing is sleeping it off in a vehicle like responsible adults. In my opinion, that is not illegal, but in cops' opinions, that is. The reality is that will be adjudged by a jury, at least in Arizona, that a jury decides if that's illegal or not, right? Based on the totality of the circumstances. My view of the totality of the circumstances, there is no actual physical control. These young ladies are being responsible and just sleeping it off.
Now, can I go off for a minute? Okay. I'm just
Let's get that.
So, since they are parked here, can you still get them for? Because they're behind the wheel of the operating vehicle. All right.
Would you like someone to more adverse than DUI to assist you?
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good one. Okay, what is your name again?
My name is Sophia.
Sophia? Okay. I'm gonna have you, if you don't mind, to step out of the vehicle and talk to me behind the car for a bit. Alright.
Okay, so you do have to identify yourself. And if she asks you to step outside, you kind of have to because they're going to say it's for officer safety or for whatever excuse they want to come up with, right? These young ladies are already detained. These cops, you saw when they went and did a little chat. She's like, can we still get him? Oh, yeah, because they're behind the wheel? Oh, yeah. That's not enough. There must be more than just being sitting behind the wheel, right? But, in any event, in Arizona, if a cop sees that, you'll probably get a ticket, and then later you can fight it in court, okay?
I'm really sorry. I just didn't want to drive.
We could just stand right there, that's fine.
You're okay.
So, for driving under the influence, all you have to be is you're in the driver's seat, so you're in control of an operating motor vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's still illegal to be sitting in the driver's seat.
Control it does not mean you're sitting behind the wheel. And really, nobody really knows. The only ones who will ever know are the jurors at the trial when they listen to all the evidence. Where the car was, what you said you were doing, what you were doing at the time, how the car was parked, who was around you, was the car on, was the car off, or was the keys in the ignition, not in the ignition. All these things are determined by a jury, and it's the jury who decides, okay? Now, admittedly, the cops only need probable cause for an arrest, and, you could argue whether they did or did not. If you ask me, no, they didn't, but I guess I'm a little biased, right?
With you drinking.
Okay.
So are you willing to participate in some standard field sobriety exercises for us?
Always, always, always. I personally will always say no to that question. Okay, field sobriety tests are graded on degrees of failure, not on pass or fail. Nobody passes a field sobriety test. They're just looking for signs of impairment. Okay, they're looking for outward physical signs that you're impaired to drive. The fact that you can't walk a line or stand on one leg or do a hula hoops or whatever, or your eyes twitch, that doesn't necessarily mean you're impaired. Okay, it could, but it's not necessarily mean that you are, right?
Exercises for us?
Do I have to?
I mean, it's up to you. It's your choice. But then if you don't, then we have to make a decision based on our evidence right now.
Exactly. Let her make the decision on her evidence right now. She's going to arrest her anyway. She's just trying to get more information to, as they say, pad their probable cause statement, right? Because to arrest you, they need to make a statement of probable cause that they believe that you were committing a crime. So If I have you walking a line and falling down, well, I have more reasons to believe that you're impaired, as in you're sitting in a car chilling, talking to your friend. Those are two very different situations, right? So that's why I personally would never do the field sobriety test. Not to mention that I'm old, I got bad knees, I got bad ankles, right? So I could never do the field sobriety test well enough, even if I'm stone cold sober after 5 cups of coffee, okay?
Right now. How old are you?
I'm 19.
19. Okay.
Okay, now, if she's 19 and they confirm that she has alcohol in her system, that's not only a DUI necessarily, possibly, but also you have underage in consumption, and there's also such a thing as a underage DUI, okay? So basically, if you are under the age and you are driving a vehicle, if you're under 21 and you're driving a vehicle, it doesn't matter if you're impaired or not, that's the underage DUI statute, right? If you guys want to know more about that, just leave a comment down below, and I'll do a full-on video as to the underage DUI and underage drinking offenses, and kind of explain they have their own specific consequences and stuff. Okay.
So yes, I mean you can either participate in the standard field sobriety exercises, or like I said, we just make our determination now upon speaking to you and our evidence, what we smell, what we see, and we can.
Yes, let her make that determination now. She's going to do it anyway. She's going to arrest you anyway. When they're asking you for that, I've seen so many body cams, I've lost count at this point. Body cam videos of DUI arrests, and I don't even know how many I've seen at this point. And I have never seen one where somebody gets released after the field sobriety test. Not a one. And I've seen ones where people refuse. They get some kind of similar conversation, said, no, I'd rather not, I'm not feeling good. They still get arrested. I've gotten people who can't complete them and get arrested. I don't think it's going to help you, okay? I mean, maybe you'll get lucky in that day. Maybe you have perfect balance and stuff and you want to take a shot at it. I would never do that.
And we can go from there, determine if we have enough to make an arrest or not.
Yeah, do that.
So.
Do your job.
Yeah, I'm willing to try.
Okay. You're willing to participate in the standard field sobriety exercises?
Yeah.
She's a normal human being. She's a decent person. She's trying to be respectful to law enforcement. She is putting her trust on this officer, taking her at her word. The officer is not being honest. The officer has already decided, as you saw when they stepped back to talk, she and her buddy already decided they were going to arrest him, right? Can you still get him? Oh, yeah, he says, right? They've already made that decision. This is just extra for her so her report will look better. Now, remember, if you refuse to do field sobriety tests and you end up going to trial, they will tell the jury you refused, but who cares? There's all kinds of reasons why you can refuse. It doesn't mean that you're impaired. This means that you just didn't want to walk in a freaking line at 2:43 in the morning. No, you don't want to walk a line, stand on one leg, jump over the hoops and stuff. No, you don't want to do that.
Okay.
Charlie 20.
All right.
Joe is Charlie 70, 6 on Charlie.
I'm going to read you some instructions real quick, okay? All right, go ahead and stand with your hands down at your side. All right, I'm going to check your eyes, okay? So I'm going to get out a pen.
Okay, so that's the HGN test, horizontal gaze nystagmus. Horizontal nystagmus is a neurological condition that can be caused by alcohol, but all kinds of other things can cause it, and some people have it naturally, right? So they're looking for symptoms that probably can confirm she has some kind of alcohol in her system, some kind of alcohol that maybe impairs her. But you can have nystagmus and be below 0.08, okay? That is completely possible. And you can have nystagmus with zero alcohol in your system.
And this is going to be the stimulus, okay? Okay. All right, do you wear glasses or contacts or anything?
That's negative, sir.
All right, do you have any medical conditions that could mimic impairment, diabetes, low blood sugar, anything like that?
How's she gonna know that?
When's the last time you ate or drank today?
Yeah. How is she gonna know that? Do you have any conditions that would mimic impairment? I even had a hearing once just on the license suspension, and that was the issue. It's like, how did you determine that she was not a good candidate for the test, right? And what did the guy say? Well, I asked her, but how does he or she know that is the case, right? They're not trained or any of these things, right? That's just garbage. It's just garbage questions. Again, she's just trying to check some boxes to make her report look better. That's it. That's all she's doing.
I want to say like 3 or 4 o'clock. I had a burger.
Okay. And then, so where were you guys at before here?
We were at a hospital.
The food you ate and stuff like that, it could be relevant for purposes of determining if they want to get a time frame of your consumption and stuff, because food will mess with the absorption rates of the alcohol and stuff like that. And sometimes they want to do some kind of retrograde extrapolation and stuff like that, at court or whatever. So the more information they have on that, the more they can actually throw at you at trial, right? So it is an investigation, right? She's doing an investigation. Remember, you don't have to answer that question. And she's not free to leave. She should be asking for a lawyer and shutting up, okay? But again, she's a decent human being trying to do the right thing, putting her trust on an officer who she believes, she'll find out later that she's wrong, but she believes that officer has her best interest in mind. But as you and I know, when we saw them do their little huddle in the back, they've already decided to get them for DUI, right?
House party.
Okay. Was that here on campus?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, and then you had Uber take you here, and you just had your car keys on you, so you got in the car.
Turned on the car for warmth.
And then sat in here.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And then you guys both live here, or just her?
She just lives here.
Okay.
Is she gonna get in trouble?
I'm not sure yet. I don't think so, because she's not. How old is she?
She's 19.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Y'all have to.
No, I was
to
just sitting in her
Sarge.
parking lot. It's not her fault.
All right. Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So I'm gonna check your eyes, so you don't have any glasses, contacts.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Keep your head still, and you're gonna follow this with your eyes only. Okay. Do not move your head. Do you understand these instructions?
Yes, ma'am. Follow the pen.
Yes.
Yeah, follow the pen. That's a good answer.
All right.
Okay, she seems to be cold. There's some suggestion that cold weather can affect your performance on field sobriety tests, because you're shaking, you're shivering, so that can affect your performance, right? So that's something else that need to consider, right? All right, so that's the ACN test, right?
Sorry, it's really cold.
Yeah.
No. Keep your head still. Okay.
Okay, so basically what she's supposed to do is look straight and just follow the stimulus with her eyes, right? So she'll do several passes. The things they're looking for first is they look for equal pupil size, resting nystagmus. So just if your eyes are already shaking before the test begins, equal tracking, that they move equally together, your eyes, right? Then lack of smooth pursuit, right? So that they move smoothly back and forth following the stimulus instead of like, right? The sting and sustained nystagmus is maximum deviation, right? So when they hold it all the way to the right or all the way to the left, right? And onset of nystagmus prior to 45 degrees. So as they're going, they want to see when that jerking motion in your eyes begins, right? So that's what they're looking for right now. She's looking through the eyes to see if she has any jerking motions, right? So there's 6 total cues in the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, right? 3 per eye.
Look straight. Come over here.
University.
And she's doing the pass. I can't tell. She looks like she's
keep
got
your
a
head
little
still.
smooth
I'm
pursuit.
sorry,
Close
it's
your eyes
so
only.
cold.
University back to Charlie 20.
She looks like at least smooth pursuit might be there. I mean, it's kind
We
of.
did contact Embrato. He apparently
Can't
is
see.
out with Holt on a traffic stop with 4, and he's conducting a signal 1 there. No problem.
Maybe a little bit there. I don't know. It's just I can't see. I can't tell. But you know.
Wait for the clear now. You sure you don't need to go over? If you want to get this smaller, for sure.
Okay. All right. So our next test, our exercise, we're gonna find a line. You wanna come over here, and we'll use a line over here.
At least she's using a line. Some cops tell you to imagine a line, and then you're imagining a line, and then they say you stepped off of it, right? It's like, but
Well,
how do you know
we're
which
gonna
line
go
I'm
over here.
imagining, right?
The parking lot over here. We're gonna
In
use
this case, they
point
do
with your
use
eye.
this line, so at least that.
So just stand
Now, is
there,
that a
extend
level?
your arms
Is
out
that
to the
surface
side.
level? What kind of shoes she's
Can you see this
wearing?
line in front of you?
You know, that's the kind of relevant
Is it
stuff they're
level?
looking at, right?
Yes, ma'am. Free of debris?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it dry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
How does she
Some
know if
instructions
she's
again.
level?
Keep
She
your
doesn't have
arms
a
down at your
level.
side. All right, so put your left foot on the line. And
One of the issues here is you got to pay attention to all these instructions, right? Basically, to put you in a start position, and then you got to keep balance in that start position. So they'll put you with one foot in front of the other, standing on the line, and then she start reading all these stuff to you. It's cold. You're standing like in a line, right? And you gotta just stand still and not move or sway or anything, because they'll say you have to sway, right? And then if you start before the instructions are finished, that's a cue. If you don't keep balance while listening to instructions, that's a cue. If you stop while walking during the test, that's a cue. If you don't touch heel to toe on any of the 9 steps one way and 9 steps the other, so the 18 steps, if you miss at least one of them, that's a cue. Now, if you at least miss all of them, it's still supposed to be only one cue, right? If you step off the line, that's another cue. So if you use your arms for balance at least 6 inches or more, and then you do the correct number of steps, right? If you lose balance while turning, right? Or if you turn improperly, right? So you'll see how she describes it. So she'll describe it. She'll do 3 steps and then a turn, and then you got to do 9 each way. There's a total of 8 cues.
on the line and your right foot in front of it with your right heel touching your toe. Okay, keep your arms down at your side.
It's okay.
No, they got to be down at your side. Okay. All right, so left foot on the line, right foot in front of it, arms down at your side, just like this. Okay, and do not start until I tell you to do so, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you understand these instructions so far?
Can you call either Sergeant Holt or Imperato on their
If you say no, they'll ask you, why don't you understand them? They won't explain them to you. The best you'll get is they'll just repeat them, right? I've seen them so many times. It's like, well, what do you mean? Do I have to do this, that? And then eventually they'll just start bullying you, saying something like, oh, you don't understand the instructions? You can't understand? What's wrong with you? Are you impaired? You know, there's no winning these, okay? There's just no winning.
cell?
When I tell you to begin, you're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps on the line. Turn around, keeping one foot on the line, and return 9 heel-to-toe steps back. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Left foot on the line, right foot in front of it. 1, 2, 3, all the way till you get to 9. And this is where you take your series of small steps that I was telling you about, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Come
She's
back
shivering,
down the
man.
line.
That definitely affects
2,
her performance.
3.
So it'll be 18 total, like there and back.
Yeah, you're going to do 9 down and 9 back
Okay.
with the turn in the middle of it. All right, so on the 9th step, you'll keep that front foot on the line and turn by taking several small steps, like I just showed you. And while walking, you're going to watch your feet at all times, keep arms down at your side, count your steps out loud. Once you begin, do not stop until the the exercise is completed. Okay, do you understand these instructions?
Yes, ma'am. So it's 9 there, and
Here.
then 9 back.
You're going to take 9 down, you're going to do that turn with a series of small steps. You're going to take 9 steps back. Heel to toe, your arms got to be down at your side. And count your steps out loud, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may begin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn.
Yep.
She's counting fine.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, you can turn around and face me. Keep your arms down at your side. We have one more exercise.
At
to
least
do.
3 cues I saw there. Yeah. And she's cold. She's freezing, man. That affects your ability to walk in line and balance.
Okay, I'm going to read you some instructions again, okay? You're going to stand with your heels together.
Okay, now it's the one leg stand, right? So in this one, they're looking for when you got to lift your leg, and then they'll just tell you to count 1001, 1002 until they tell you to stop. Basically, you got to count to 30, right? They need to 30 seconds, right? So they're supposed to be timing you as you do it. They're looking for swaying while balancing, right? It's got to be distinct and noticeable, whatever that means. If you use your arms of balance against over 6 inches or more, if you start hopping on one foot or if you put your foot down, those are all potential cues, right? It's a total of 4 cues.
Together, arms down at your side, just like you've been doing. Yep, just keep your arms there. Okay, do not begin until I tell you to do so. Keep your arms down at your side.
Sorry, it's so cold.
I know we're almost done. Do
you.
you understand these instructions so far?
Yeah.
Okay. When I tell you to, I want you to
Yeah.
raise one leg, either leg, approximately 6 inches off the ground. It's going to be about the height of a soda can. Your foot's going to be pointed out. Your eyes are going to be looking on it. And keep both legs straight and keep your eyes on your elevated foot. Okay, while holding that position, count out loud 1001, 1002, 1003, and so forth until I tell you to stop. Okay?
Do you mind me asking how far I have to count?
Until I tell you to stop. Okay.
That's a great question.
So it's gonna look like this. Okay.
Right.
You're gonna have your arms down at your side.
That's a great question. She got it. How long do I got to go before I stop? She didn't tell her until I tell you to stop, right? I've actually seen video where you're not supposed to start, right, until they tell you, okay, start. And I've seen video where the person is actually starts counting before he or she is told to start. And they just let him. They just let you do it. And they say, okay, stop. I didn't tell you to start yet. And then I've seen one that it was 2 or 3 times. And then finally, no, now you can do it. So at this point, the person is tired, right? Been standing on a leg for several times. So of course they're going to do worse this time. And that's the one that counted. Come on. I mean, they play all these games. This is just voodoo science at best. That's my opinion anyway.
Okay. And it's gonna be 1001, 1002, 1003, and so forth until I tell you to stop, okay? If for some reason you put your foot down, simply pick it back up and begin where you left off, okay?
Okay.
Do you understand these instructions so far?
Can I get an estimate? Like, is it going to be a minute?
Until I tell you to stop, okay?
Fine.
All right, give me one
She
sec.
knows she's getting tricked.
Okay, keep your arms down at your side, feet together. All right, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may begin.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013, 1014, 1015, 1016, 1017, 1018, 1019, 1020, 1021, 1022,
Okay, you can stop.
1023.
All right, go ahead and put your hands behind your back. You're
See?
being arrested for DUI.
See, she was going to arrest her anyway. She did pretty well on that one, I thought, but whatever. Of course they were going to arrest her. There was no doubt. They had already made the decision before they started to ask her anything. And you heard it on that video.
Why?
Because you are operating a motor vehicle under the influence. You said she lives on campus, right? Yeah. We should be able to just get her at home. All right, we're gonna go back to the back of my car.
All right. So that she's going to get arrested. In Arizona, what would happen after that is she would either right on the side of the road or at a substation, they would take her and they would do a blood draw usually. At that point, they're going to ask her for a sample of her breath or blood. If she refuses, they can get a warrant. And if they get a warrant, they'll tie you down and take the blood by force. Okay. So in this video, we don't see the blood draw. I'll keep looking, see if I find an interesting one, so we can point out all the stuff that happens when they do a blood draw. But yeah, that is a standard DUI investigation for a very respectful young lady who didn't even know she was doing anything wrong. I personally don't think she was doing anything wrong. I think she was doing the responsible thing. Now, she is an underage. She's under 21 and was drinking, so that probably wasn't a great idea. But I don't think that's a DUI. I think that's just her sleeping it off. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you or somebody you care about is facing criminal charges, my contact information is on the description up below. Feel free to give us a call, book a consultation, give you a free case evaluation, and we'll discuss your case. We'll see what happened and see if we can help you out. So give me a call. See you in the next video.